But we start with the latest transfer news and an update on Manchester United's pursuit of Bryan Mbeumo. Mark McAdam joins me once again. And Mark, we know that Manchester United want to sign Mbeumo this summer. What is the latest?
It's been one of the sagas of the summer so far, hasn't it? Manchester United remain hopeful of concluding a deal for Bryan Mbeumo following the Brentford sporting director's comments yesterday. Phil Giles said a deal is there to be done, but only if it's right for the club, and Mbeumo is happy to stay, crucially, if nothing is agreed. Manchester United are working on a potential new offer, with their most recent one worth £62.5 million, which was made up of an initial £55 million plus £7.5 in add-ons. Not enough for Brentford. They want in excess of £65 million for the Cameroon forward, with most of it, if not all of it, guaranteed. So that's the very latest on the Bryan Mbeumo situation.
You said it's a saga, one that will keep on going, but thank you for bringing up to speed with that for now. What about elsewhere in the club? Also want to sign a striker?
Yeah, this is a rebrand, a rebuild. Ruben Amorim really putting his DNA on this Manchester United attack over the course of this summer. It's going to be an expensive rebuild as well. We know that Matheus Cunha is in, Bryan Mbeumo we've just explained there. We know that there is interest in signing a new number 9 at Old Trafford. One of the players on their radar. We know there has been links with Victor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko. Another player of interest, the 29-year-old at Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins. Manchester United are exploring a potential deal for someone who has 3 years left on their Villa contract. This will have no effect on Rasmus Højlund and what they decide to do with him or his future. But as of yet, it's important to point out there has been no club-to-club contact between Villa and Manchester United. And of course, this will be funded by a number of players leaving Old Trafford this summer as well. But this is certainly one to keep an eye on as Manchester United look to strengthen right through the middle.
And Victor Rossman has been linked with a move to Old Trafford this summer. How likely is that one looking?
Well, Manchester United have been interested in number 9. We know that Victor Rossman has been on the radar of a number of Premier League sides over the course of the last couple of years, really. He's been one of those players scoring goals in Europe. Things haven't worked out at Napoli. Spent last season on loan at Galatasaray, where he scored 26 goals in 30 league games. He got 6 goals in 7 appearances in the Europa League as well. There has been a persistent link with Saudi Arabia. One other thing coming from our Sky colleagues in Italy is that Juventus are considering making an offer to Napoli for the 26-year-old. That's if they get confirmation from his representatives that he would be willing to go to Juventus. If he gets a green light, then they will approach Napoli for club-to-club talks about potentially doing a deal. Be interesting to see if that sparks any interest from Premier League sides, because we know there are a number of teams, Arsenal in the market for number 9, Chelsea possibly in the market for number 9, depending on what happens with Nicholas Jackson. We know that Manchester United are in the market for number 9, Liverpool possibly, Newcastle possibly. Now, the thing about Victor Rossman, big player, big personality, big wages. And that may be a stumbling block for some Premier League sides. But it's always worth keeping an eye on his situation.
Yeah, there's a player that seems to be being linked with a number of clubs, Mohammed Kudus. Plenty of interest in him. What's the latest? Yeah,
another player that's going to be probably spoken about most days on the transfer show. We'll be talking about Mohammed Kudus for some time. West Ham open to selling him, providing the valuation is met. We know that there is interest in the 24-year-old from Spurs. Spurs actually want a versatile forward threat, someone who can play in multiple positions, left, right, through the middle as a false 9 or potentially as a 10. Mohammed Kudus definitely ticks those boxes. They were interested in Bryan Mbeumo. They were interested in Eberezer Eze as well. We also know that Newcastle have him on their list, and Chelsea are also interested in Kudus as well, despite already making a number of signings in those advanced positions. So, yeah, one to keep an eye on, that's for sure.